We have 4 cases. We have Black Rock, Trago, Double Hot,
and Pinto.
Okay, Trago is gonna be TG, Pinto is gonna be PT, Black Rock is gonna be BR. Okay, and we're gonna start an Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so in the kit, you're gonna have Excel spreadsheet. I'm just gonna have a list of numbers: 001, 002, 003. Okay, so if you're the very first one out with the kit, and I have Black Rock kit. Okay, I'm gonna start out, and this is gonna be 001. Okay, BR 001. And then I look and I was like, oh, there's another site over there. I'm going to walk over there. It's going to be BR 002.
And you will mark off that
and you
001
check them off
when you do it. And
okay.
so the next people that pick up the kit, they will see this list of springs that are marked off, and they will know where to start their numbering system.
And you have several springs. That's where we will start using this column within one site. But for each site, I want them numbered that's the signal key. And then when we do pictures, you'll still have BR 001, but then you'll have A for the first picture. So you'll just have to keep track of what case you're in and what numbers are available, and obviously keep it in sequential order.
Landscape Association. It is in a gully, bottom of a gully, so therefore does it get scoured by floods. We're on a hillside, valley floor. This is a hillside. Valley floor is down there on the bottom. Okay? So it's a hillside spring. Most of what you will be doing will be hillside spring. Access class. We've got some access classes back here on whether you can drive to it, how far you have to walk, and those kinds of things. Generally speaking, that's important because if you can drive to it, it's probably got a pipe coming out of it. It's been really hit pretty hard by disturbance, human disturbances. If you have to walk a long ways, there's less chance of it. Have maps with you. The legal description. I'm an old duffer, and you've got to be able to read a map to know things. And have that down here because the way I keep my records, I keep all my field notes numbers on a map. So I can go to the file and pull out that map and say, what spring, when was I at that spring, and I know the field note number, and I can go back into my computer database and I know exactly when I was there, what I found, and all those kinds of things. So the map coordinates are really good so somebody can map it. A lot of people say, oh, you only need GPS. BS. So very, very easy to do. Elevation, you'll be able to get that off your GPS unit. That's in each of the packages here. It has a GPS unit. And the GPS locality is, you take it at the source. So you take the picture, you take the GPS coordinate, you take the water chemistry, all those things from the largest spring in the province. Now you may be splitting hairs a little bit on which one's the largest one, but make a judgment call. That's cool. It's not the largest, do the one highest in the, I haven't put that in the protocol, but you'll figure it's pretty straightforward. There's usually one that's larger than the rest. So do all that work on that one. But then you will go find all the other sources. And at all those other sources, you will just mark where there's surface water and the flow category. We got a series of categories here. Actually, source number 1 would be the largest spring. Okay? So that's the one you take the GPS coordinates at, you take the water chemistry at spring number 1. No matter if there are other springs or not.
You want a separate picture of each source?
Nope, just that one source. Just that. You will find that if you take your picture correctly, you will get that whole province in there, I'll bet you. Because these provinces aren't scattered all over the place, I don't think. It'd be very unusual that that happens. If you want to take pictures of the other ones, go ahead, just do the UTMs and then write in their notes what you did. So this one, I would do the source here, the water chemistry and all that kind of stuff. Springbrook length. So pretty straightforward. Width, I'd say the width of the watercress, that's your wetted width. Kind of stick your finger in there a couple of places and see how deep it is. It's probably about 3 or 4 centimeters deep.
Length of the Springbrook, theoretically you could go out there that day and measure it to the millimeter. But if that thing's varying 100 feet a day and you said, well, it's a couple hundred feet, that's accurate for that system.
It's not precise, but it's accurate. Guessing discharge is really tough in these small things. You're not going to be able to get a bucket in there. One thing that we've done elsewhere is use a plastic bag, get down the capture the water, find how long it's taken to capture that, and pour it into the graduate. We've got a list of important plants and animals, and they're pretty simple, but if you can't do it, you can't do it. Most people can tell if there's a willow.
I don't see any willows. Here, there are some down there maybe.
There might be a willow right there that's just budding out. There's certainly cottonwoods here. There aren't any aspens. The wild rose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watercress. Everybody know what watercress is? This green stuff that's in the water. Bright green.
Good Patrick.
It needs water. It's an obligatory wetland plant.
There's watercress right here.
Yeah. And we'll see some watercress in a minute.
Look, every field kit has a weed identification guide as well. So,
So just circle those things if they're there. Same's true with animals. See a fish, just do fish. Spring snails, we'll find some spring snails for you guys to look at, whether you find them or not. That's another thing. So the best kind of strainer is one with a flat edge here, so you can kind of mesh these a little bit. And get a little bit of water in your bucket here. Clear water, not muddy water.
Okay.
And then just slap around a little bit like this. And the snails will drop in. It's a technical word. This has spring snails and it has amphipods. They're both in here.
Wish you were a spider that you're just starting.
That spider that I let go.
And amplified again is what?
Amphipods are little crustaceans. You'll see them in here. They're just kind of darting all over the place.
It's got shrimp.
Yes, yeah. So
Those are amphipods?
Amphipods. A-M-P-H. A-M-P-H-I.
amphipods. Amphipods.
Yes. Disturbances. So we got natural and human factors, okay? And you just mark whether each of these is recent or it's recovery. For this, it's recent. So you've got horse poop here, so hawking and hummocks. Springs will get real beat up and they'll just have these hummocks. So this hide is real, just really screwed up. That's what that is. Most people have seen those kinds of things. People have not seen those?
No, I
Yeah.
know a hawk from a hummock.
It's very irregular, but very smooth and jumbled.
But it's in the spring.
It's right around the spring.
Oh, right around the spring.
Right around the spring, the soils. It's a soil condition.
Tramped a lot by
And so they push that just like moguls on the ski slope. It gets pushed down the middle and rises to the top. And you'll see it when you say, oh, that's what that is. And we just mark whether it's recent or recovery. If it's not there, don't mark anything. Head cut is where there's an erosion event happened, and the spring brook is cut down below the land surface. It's cutting down, and probably head cut is moving up the stream. You will never have a situation like that really outside of a gulf. The recovering thing is that there hasn't been a lot of use for a long time, and it's looking pretty good is what we've got written in the protocol.
So anytime it's present, then it's going to be recent.
Yeah, this is recent. And then there's structures. People have done all sorts of different things to springs. A spring box, a lot of people don't know what these things are, but the way that the water is gathered from a spring to put into a pipe to take somewhere else, they put in a spring box. Now this box can be a culvert, this big, it can be a concrete box, it can be a wooden box, whatever. It's dug into the spring source and installed. And that captures the water, and then there's a pipe that comes out of that box and delivers the water to wherever else. I've seen those pipes run for 7 or 8 miles or longer. They take water a long way. And that's a spring box. So I'm not sure if you'll see. There might be one up on this one.
There's remnants of pipe and stuff.
Yeah, there's pipe up there, if I remember right. So there's evidence of spring box. Sometimes you can't even see them. Sometimes you'll just see a pipe coming out of the ground. You don't see a spring box. You don't see any evidence of the spring, but there's a pipe coming out of the ground with some water in it. You go, oh, probably a spring box. But if you can't see it, don't mark it. Are there pipes there? Is there a trough or a tank close to the spring? Has somebody been in with a backhoe? Digging it out. Impoundment. sometimes people will just take a spring and they say, we want a big pond here, and so they'll just gather up dirt all around the spring source or somewhere, and they'll put an impoundment there, or down the spring brook. They'll create an impoundment. And just mark it. Functional or non-functional.
So that's the same as having created a dam.
Exactly. I've impounded the water.
Okay.
Functional and non-functional. There's pipes up here, and I think that's all broken down, and we're going to say that's non-functional. And if it's got spring box in there, there's a pipe, that pipe's taking the water to a trough somewhere, that's functional. It works. It either works or it doesn't.
There's a trough surrounded by water, non-functional.
Right. It's empty, it's non-functional. Very basic things. But it says a lot too. It really says a lot about what's at that side. And that's it. Now the other side, yeah, if you want to be an artist and draw what it is, great. Be fine. Do not mix gear between kits. Every kit's identified, it's individual, special, and it's got labeled. Everything's labeled.